Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to make a change to you, or reinforce that change if it has already been made. This change makes it so that when you use the activation phrase Activate Scolipede Dreams, the effects that are about to be described will become active. Additionally, they will instantly become inactive if you use the reset phrase Deactivate Scolipede Dreams. Now the effects will be described. While you will experience them now, you will experience them again the next time that you sleep with the trigger active, having no recollection of having done this before. Also, if you have experienced this before, you will not have access to any memories of this until you awaken from trance. Whenever you fall asleep, you will instantly start to dream. In these dreams you will be the Scolipede from the first Scolipede Dreams file. If your memory of that dream world would make what is about to happen impossible or extremely unlikely, your memories, and this world by extension, will simply shift and change to allow this. Also, the world that you experience in these dreams will be consistent, ensuring that no time passes and that nothing changes within it between when you wake up and when you next go to sleep. Also, when you do eventually wake up you will remember your time in the dream world fully, and find that the thought of it always makes you happy because being in it is always a pleasant experience overall, and that not being in it never causes you to feel any negative emotions. The first time that you enter this dream world, you will be sitting in your hut. While it feels like you've been the leader of your tribe forever, the reality is that it has only been a few months. These have been a very eventful few months, as you've been helping out the members of your tribe and partaking in some events. Today, you've just finished helping a Scolipede build their hut. They had just evolved, and had decided that they wanted their own place to live. You enjoyed the work, the warm sun and clear sky making it a lovely day to do some outdoor construction. The Scolipede was so happy when their hut was finished, and you can't help but feel happy as you think about them from within your own hut. After a little while you decide to go for a walk around the tribe, and just as you're about to leave your hut you notice that the elder is next to the big rock in the tribe's square, the very same place where leadership was passed on to you. They're talking to some Pokemon, and you notice that one of them is holding a flagpole, the flag attached to it adorning an unfamiliar symbol. While you don't know this, the symbol is called the Royal Lily, and resembles two vertical crescents, with one facing left and the other facing right. Between them, there is a vertical pointed oval that narrows in the middle. In the center, there are three horizontal bands wrapping around the three parts. You walk to the square to talk to the elder, and realize that the leader of the group that he is talking to is a Gardevoir, while the rest seem to be made up of various royal Pokemon, as well as a few Snivies that you notice playing in the back. Before long the elder notices your approach, and says, "Ah, there you are. I was just looking for you." Wondering why there are so many royal Pokemon visiting the tribe, you respond with, "Hey! Who are all of these Pokemon? I've never seen them before." Upon hearing your question, the Gardevoir introduces herself. "My name is Lily," she says as she takes a bow. "I am the royal messenger for the kingdom of Serhef. I am looking for the leader of the Scolipede tribe, as I am to deliver a message to them." Once she finishes, you introduce yourself, letting her know that you are the leader of this tribe. Then, the elder introduces himself, and apologizes for not having done so sooner. Lily tells him that it's quite alright, and says, "Leader of the Scolipede tribe, the king of the kingdom of Serhef has requested your presence for a meeting to get to know you better." You politely acknowledge the message, but turn to the elder and ask them if it is alright to attend the meeting, having not been educated yet on this part of being the tribe's leader. They're a bit hesitant at first, and you can tell that they're thinking about how the tribe prefers to keep to itself. But after a few moments they advise that you do, and so you say that you will, then asking when it will be held. Lily tells you that the meeting will be held 3 days from now. As a representative of Serhef, I shall ensure that your message gets received by the king. Upon hearing this, you thank Lily for her time and part ways with her. Looking at the elder, you say, "So what exactly is the kingdom of Serhef, elder?" He replies, "The kingdom of Serhef is one of the more trusted allies of the Scolipede tribe. They also happen to be one of the bigger kingdoms in the area." Once he has finished saying this, the elder asks you to follow him as he heads towards the forest. After a good bit of walking, you end up at one of the guard posts near the edge of the tribe's territory. As you approach it, you notice a castle in the distance that stretches far above the clouds. Upon seeing the look of awe on your face, the elder chimes in, saying, "And that is the kingdom of Serhef. Not only are they one of the bigger kingdoms in the area, they also have the biggest castle." You just stand there, staring for a few moments, before the elder continues. "The castle is far enough away from our main camp that we cannot see it. We also do not allow many tribe members out this far, as this part of the forest tends to be one of the most dangerous when it comes to wild Pokémon attacks. Only the most well-trained guards are ever allowed at this post." You just stand there for a few minutes, taking in the sheer scale of the castle. Once you've come to grasps with just how big it is, you head back to the camp with the elder. Upon arriving, the elder tells you that he will be preparing for the meeting in his hut, and that you should learn more about Serhef by asking the tribe's scribe about it, or you can ask him as always if you have any questions. After telling you all of this, he heads off to his hut, and you decide to spend the next few days learning about Serhef. Over these days, you learn many things about the kingdom of Serhef. For instance, that it is not ruled by Pokémon, but by a human king. You also learn that the servants of the kingdom have ranks, with the king being the highest rank that there is. By far the thing that you find most interesting is one of Serhef's traditions, which is also held by most other kingdoms. It is the keeping of a castle Serperior, which accompanies the king as a symbol of power and royalty. Come the day of the meeting, you get up early and head to the elder's hut, and see that he is already waiting for you. Once you've made sure that you have everything, you, the elder, 4 Scolipede guards, and a few other Pokémon head off to Serhef, with the golden light of the rising sun lighting your path and shining off of the morning dew that rests on the leaves. While your time spent traveling to the castle is very pleasant, and you enjoy seeing things far beyond your tribe's borders for the first time, nothing of note happens as you approach the ever-visible castle. Upon arriving at the gates to Serhef's grounds, you see 2 human guards awaiting your arrival, as well as Lily, the Gardevoir messenger that you spoke with a few days ago. You and the elder exchange a brief but formal greeting with the guards, and they let you in. Seeing that you have entered, Lily goes off, presumably to notify the king of your arrival. As you and your group approach the entrance to the actual castle, you see a lady waiting, her high rank being clear from the proud way that she carries herself. Once at the entrance, she introduces herself as Serhef's Pokémon Master. After taking a bit of time for introductions, you enter the castle, leaving 2 of the Scolipede guards behind to guard the entrance until you return. After entering the castle, you notice how there are a lot of people and Pokémon doing different things, and that each person, even the servants, has their own Pokémon to assist them as needed. After a little while, the Pokémon Master tells you that in order to get to the throne room, you will need to travel through the cube, as the other way is currently closed due to some unfortunately timed repairs. While you and your group are walking, she explains what the cube is. She tells you that the cube is a 1-mile area in the castle where Pokémon are free to roam as they please. She continues on to explain that there had been a poison-type area, but it had to be moved since it was too hard to keep the rest of the areas well maintained with all of the poison everywhere. And as she finishes saying this, you end up walking through a door and entering into a section of the cube. There's a lot of grass in it, as well as a few trees scattered about. You can't help but look in awe as you walk through it, and can tell that this section was made for grass-type Pokémon. The other Pokémon in your group are clearly impressed as well, and you find it hard to believe that you aren't outside again. After walking through the cube for a bit, you reach an exit, and the Pokémon Master tells you that you are almost at the throne room. The hallways that you enter form a stark contrast to the nature that you were just in, and after passing a few more of them, you notice 2 doors that stand out to you, although you decide not to say anything about them so as to not slow things down. One of them is blue and vanilla colored, with a jar of ink as well as a quill drawing a spiral on a piece of paper painted on it. The other one is painted with gold, green, and pale gray vines. You continue on through even more hallways and up many flights of stairs, with the elder, the 2 remaining guards, and the other Pokémon that came all still following you, finally making it to the throne room doors. Once everyone is ready, the Pokémon Master opens the doors, and you get your first look at the throne room. It is magnificent, unlike anything that you have ever seen before. The room has a certain flow to its design that draws your attention to the king's throne on the far end of the room, as well as the king that is sitting on it. You also notice a Lucario that seems to be a scribe sitting off to one side of the king, and what you assume to be the castle's Serperior sitting off to the other. The Pokémon Master walks in with your group following behind her, and formally introduces your tribe. Then, she takes a place in the back of the room, keeping a watchful eye on some of the more powerful Pokémon that came with you while she waits for the meeting to conclude. You and your group walk forwards, trying to avoid having to raise your voices, as you do not want to talk across the full length of the throne room for the entire meeting. As you approach the throne, you notice something odd about the Serperior, but you can't quite put your claw on it. Once you and the Elder are close enough that you won't need to raise your voices, the meeting begins, and your guards stand off to either side of the room. To start things off, the Elder introduces himself, and then gestures to you, so you introduce yourself as the new leader of the Scolipede tribe. With your introductions done, all of the Pokémon that came with you sit down, with the exception of the 2 guards and the Elder. The King of Serhef introduces himself, and says it has come to my attention that the Elder of the Scolipede tribe has recently passed on the role of leadership. Yes, the Elder replies. I have grown too old to tend to the tribe. As the Elder is saying this, the King looks you over, and once the Elder has finished, the King tells you that it is an honor to finally meet all of you. You tell the King and his Pokémon that the honor is yours, almost as if it were an instinct. Then, the Elder chimes in, saying, I see you finally got yourself a castle Serperior. The King replies with, indeed we have. We have had this Serperior for a while now. He then tells the Serperior to introduce themselves, and as they do, a certain memory comes to mind. Something about their particular presence makes you think of defending the tribe from a wild Serperior, and then it clicks. Hey, you say, aren't you that Serperior that I drove away from our tribe a few months ago? They seem caught off guard, and take a couple of seconds to respond. They ask you what you mean, and you explain that a few months ago, just before you were made leader of your tribe, you were stationed at one of the tribe's guard posts when a wild Serperior got way too close to the tribe's territory. You ended up driving it away, and that Serperior looks an awful lot like the one that you are talking to right now. The Serperior takes a minute to think about what you told them. Before long they say that yes, it was them, and apologize for having wandered into your territory, explaining that they didn't know that specific area very well. You accept their apology, and apologize yourself for having hurt them. As you apologize, the King stands up and turns to address the Serperior. Here, I'll leave you and Lucario to get to know the Scolipede tribe members better. If you need me, I will be in the other room. After the King says this, he walks out of the throne room. For a moment both the castle Serperior and the Lucario scribe seem unsure of what to do. After a few seconds, the Lucario puts down his paper and quill, and walks over to you to get to know you better. Shortly after this, the castle Serperior does the same. When you experience this in your dreams, you and the Elder will have as much time as you want to get to know the Serperior and Lucario better. However, for now just let the feeling of having gotten to know them better, as well as the belief that you have, settle in your mind. Once all of you are done getting to know each other, the Serperior goes and gets the King. Once he returns, the Lucario picks his quill and paper back up, and the Serperior returns to the King's side. The meeting resumes, and you, the Elder, the Serperior, and the King begin to discuss official matters. Once everything is said and done, the King thanks your tribe for coming all of this way to meet with them, and you thank the King for inviting the tribe over. Then, you, the Elder, and the other members of your tribe that came exchange brief, individual farewells to the King and his Pokémon, and start to leave the throne room. As you leave the throne room, you see Lily off to one side of the room and thank her for inviting you. She says, of course. It is my duty as a royal messenger to send you any messages the King would like known. After she says this, you and your tribe members follow the Pokémon Master back to the gate of the castle grounds, the 2 guards that you had stationed at the castle's entrance rejoining your group as you pass them. Once you reach the gate, the Pokémon Master exchanges farewells with your tribe, and you and your tribe head back to your camp. Once you return to your camp, your actions will once again be your own to make. And just like before, your actions will have a realistic amount of effect on this imagined world, not that the ones that I have had you do will have no effect. Also, should you awaken before these events can finish transpiring, you will simply resume them once you fall asleep again. Finally, the effects of this hypnosis file will become inactive if they are a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if they are a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that they would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if they are a risk to your mental health. Also, any effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Additionally, you will never find this hypnosis file or the effects of it to be even slightly addicting. Now the meeting is done, and my voice will soon end, and should you wish to, you can fall asleep, your mind staying here until your physical body awakens. However, you can simply awaken from trance in this place right now if you wish to. The choice is yours, my leader.